Hi there, everyone who is a follower of this blog, either on Twitter or Facebook. It is November 14th, 2019. We're just a couple weeks away from Thanksgiving. And on this feature of Charles Chat today, I thought I would talk a little bit about the time I met Jerry Bridges. Jerry Bridges is one of my more favorite, I guess, modern authors, although he's died in recent years and has gone to heaven, but as far as in my lifetime, one of my favorites for a number of reasons. Maybe the primary reason is his humility, and I want to tell you a little bit of story about that. Preface it by saying, when we talk about heaven, one of the things that, interesting subject that we Christians tend to come up with, and we talk about our experience in heaven, what we think it's going to be like. One of the things that we often talk about is how we're looking forward to meeting this person or that person, or asking this question to this person, and we do that sometimes probably because we're a little bit caught up in the celebrity kind of culture where we think it's going to be some great experience to meet some great saint, and certainly there'll be some encouraging moments, but really if we think about the implications of what heaven's going to be like, a place with no sin, a place with no popularity amongst men, a place really where we're all equally humble, I really believe that that day that you shake Moses' hand or Charles Spurgeon's hand, he is going to be as delighted and excited to meet you as you are him. And I think that's the way our experience is going to be like in heaven. There's going to be no celebrities among men. We're going to be truly equal, truly unified, and truly excited to talk with each other no matter what our past is. So all that to say, when I met Jerry Bridges, this was in the late 90s. I was at a conference in Boston, Massachusetts, and this was a conference called the Evangelical Theological Society, and I was going to attend a seminar that Don Whitney was giving on meditation. And I was with my dad, and we walked to find a seat in this little room, and there's Jerry Bridges just a few rows back, and I went to shake his hand, and I don't remember if my dad introduced me or I just kind of boldly went up there, but I met Jerry Bridges, and I remember him standing up and looking at me with a smile. And I remember him seeming equally excited to talk to me as I was to him. Now, I had not read many of his books. In fact, the only book I read at that time of his was probably Trusting God, which is still, I think, the book you need to read by Jerry Bridges. But I was just floored by the fact that he seemed equally interested in me. He asked me questions about my school. He asked me questions about my background, my plans for future ministry. And I got to thinking, who cares about Charles Heck? Why is he even interested? And I think the reason is pretty simple. He is a humble person. And I think like that experience in heaven, I think he was modeling it on earth. And so when you think about preparing yourself for heaven even, and you think about what it's going to be like, those kinds of moments are previews of what heaven will be like. So maybe just an encouragement to you as you get to know people, as you get to meet people for the first time, just in normal conversations. Who gets the attention in those conversations? Are you looking for an opportunity to elevate the importance of the person you're talking to? Are you more interested in dominating conversation and telling your stories and one-upping their stories and hijacking conversations with other people? We got to practice humility when we talk to one another. We need to love one another and look to the interests of one another before ourselves. So I just wanted to share that little anecdote about Jerry Bridges. I've never met him since then. I've never talked to him since that one occasion. I've read a number of his books. This past week, I read the book, The Blessing of Humility, and kept thinking, wow, this is a man, I think, that models it very, very well. And it's a good book to read if you're looking for some help on how to grow and soften your heart towards loving others before yourself. It's called The Blessing of Humility, just published a few years ago before he died. So anyway, just thought that would be an encouragement for you today, and hope you have a great weekend.